Hey guys, today we're going to be changing out our air-fuel ratio sensors. We're about to remove our exhaust manifolds because we're doing a header job, but we need to remove these sensors out first. So they're basically a really fancy advanced O2 sensor, but you have to take the approach the exact same way as far as removal goes. You want to secure the wheels, park the vehicle in gear, and apply the parking brake, and do this on level ground. We're using a hoist, so we have a big advantage doing this job. Next, disconnect the battery by removing the negative terminal. To make your life easier, once you have the vehicle properly secured up in the air, the night before, hit the sensor with a bunch of penetrating lube and let it sit overnight. This will make removing the sensor much easier. Now it is a lot easier to disassemble parts of the vehicle, like removing the intake tube like I have on the driver's side. And what we're going to do is we're going to unplug the sensors first. So I'm just going to come under here lightly with a little screwdriver. So you have to lift it past this lock. We can now remove the sensor from its mounting tab. So if you look, you'll see that there's a lock in it. So what we do is lift it up. It just slides towards the front of the vehicle to get it off. On the passenger side, it's significantly more difficult because you have all this stuff in the way. So you can use the same technique, but leave it plugged in and you can bring out the whole plug assembly. Now you can manipulate that locking clip away from all the wiring and hoses. We now have the sensors free. So what we're going to do is we're going to route them through all the hoses. I'm going to be gentle because this one's fairly new. I want to reuse it. And I want to route it down to the exhaust. This will make it much easier for me to remove. Now you still have to check behind the engine. There are other clips that are holding on the wiring harness. So from underneath, this might give you a better idea. If you look all the way up here, we can see that there's that clip that I need to disconnect before I can take out the sensor. You can see here I'm just using a long pry tool. So I'm going to get my hand all the way up there, and I'll release it. This is where we see if that penetrating lube is going to pay off. And you see I'm using a special tool here. So this socket is for O2 sensors, and you see it's slotted. This allows me to get maximum contact patch because of the wiring. We can't put on regular tools onto here. So I broke it free, but you'll see that it will turn out. And this is why it's important to unplug first. Unplug first because as I twist it, I want the wire long and I just want it to twirl. Because I'm reusing these sensors, if you try to twist it off first and then remove the wiring, you're probably going to break a wire and then you're buying a new sensor when you didn't need to. So usually I'll have two hands and I'll hold it here and let it rotate in my hand as I'm twisting this. That way I'm not binding up anything. Now whether you're reinstalling the old ones or installing new ones, it's a good idea to use anti-seize that's copper based. Just put a little bit on the threads. This will help installation, and mainly when you're going to uninstall it again, if you ever need to service the vehicle, it's going to make life a lot easier. So we don't need to put a lot on the threads, maybe just on a couple sections, and as you thread it, it's going to spread it around. There you guys have it. That's how you change out your air-fuel ratio meter. So to do the installation, it's the exact opposite. You're going to reconnect the battery, and I highly advise you do the ECU reset. This will let the ECU relearn everything as you drive and then learn your new sensors or learn the sensors that you put back in.